Everybody is looking for the next best detox, whether it is a juice cleanse or a fast or a parasite detox or heavy metals, or maybe it is just liver and enemas. What about the fact that we probably should be also detoxing our energy fields? So when we talk about that piece of it, we have to understand that we as a body, and I've done another video of this that we can link, have a physical vessel, but we also have an energetic vessel. So we have an energy part of our body. It goes out for several feet beyond the physical body. And it even enters the room before we do. And even at the cellular level and throughout our fascia, we are communicating constantly energetically, whether it's through photons, which are light frequencies, or other electrical charges that have yet to even be delineated. We know that we are energetic beings. And many of you watching this may know even more. I hear this all the time that, I get goosebumps, or I can feel a room before I walk in the room, or I just know when I meet somebody if I want to be around them or I don't. And I want to tell you that many times people will come in and tell me about all of that as if it's a bad thing. And the truth is, it's a super skill. It is like a ninja skill. If you learn how, or let's say when, because I'm very careful with my words, and I want you guys to be as well, when you learn how to manage that skill, you can use it to your best advantage. If you are just throwing out to the wolves, and by the way, we all know that people that are more sensitive tend to be targets to those that are more vampiric. So there are people that are more givers, and those givers tend to be a little more sensitive. And then there are people that are more disconnected, and they tend to be more vampiric, and they tend to just kind of go after the overgivers, the people pleasers, the accommodators, and it becomes this codependent type of relationship that we see all too commonly, not just in our interpersonal relationships, but even on a societal level, where humanity and culture and cultural systems have become vampiric, where they're just taking from the earth, from people wanting you to consume. So as we can wake up, and I would say the first step in getting ready for a spiritual detox, or getting ready to kind of clear that energetic field, is really just awareness, right? Like the veil lifting. So we get so taken away with our day-to-day life and whatever is pulling on us at that moment, whether it be a boss or a partner or a kid or a sister or a brother, like whatever that is that we're getting sucked into, that we end up abandoning ship. So we may not pay attention to those inner signals that are telling us a message. And when we figure out that we need to wake up and do that, sometimes it can be a little bit unsettling, that first step, when you open your eyes and you look around at what's actually happening with you energetically. So are you constantly giving? Do you have people that when you've been with them, you feel exhausted? And I'm sure most of you do. Do you have people that you can call when you're down, or when you just want some fun, and they're going to make you feel great? And hopefully you have some of those people. So that is the first step, is just that awareness. So take a minute, maybe even right now, and just jot down, like, who are those people that are the givers that make you feel amazing, that incite in you or light you up or bring out your childhood joy? Who are the people, the scenarios, maybe it's your job, whatever it is, that make you feel more drained? Where can you say more yes and more no, and have some more boundaries? But just being aware is step one towards that detoxing. Then when you are seeing it, maybe changing your environment a little bit, you're going to start feeling better. And then you're gonna wanna go in and work on yourself, because what happens is we all have trauma. We all do. Whether it is severe, which many people do, severe like early childhood trauma, or even more recent trauma, loss of a loved one, abusive relationships, you know, getting stuck in like natural disasters, whatever that trauma is. Not only can it kind of loop in your brain, and hopefully you've done some work there, whether it's therapy or EMDR or hypnotherapy, there's a lot of great things, and we can do some videos on those options in the future. But where have you done some physical work? Because it turns out, and this was another really interesting part of my personal healing journey, like where can it be stuck in your body? So I'll share a quick story about something that I think could really help all of you, which is called myofascial release. So our fascia, which is a connective part of our kind of connective tissue, it surrounds all of our organs, and our fascia, we thought, just was kind of holding things up, protecting the organ. It turns out if you look at the fascia under a microscope inside the body, it's actually a pump. It's pumping water, and it's potentially pumping electrons and other things we don't even understand yet. So when I went to get myofascial work done, I had this experience where I went for a walk afterwards, and I saw these ducks swimming. And there were 3 ducks and a mommy, 3 babies and a mommy. And the mommy flew away and left the ducks. She went over a wall, and the ducks started freaking out. And I was sitting there talking to these ducks saying, it's okay, she must have gone to get food. Mommy's gonna be back. And then sure enough, she came back. So I said, see guys, I told you. And then she left again. But the second time, the ducks didn't move. And I sat there and I was like, wow, look at nature. These ducks already were primed, and they knew she was coming back. Wow, this must be a message for me. And then I got an image in my head of being 15 and how I was having procedures done to me, and my mom had to be out of the room. And it was because, how I figured it out was my mom had 3 kids, I only had 2. But my point of sharing this really powerful personal story with you is that when she did that myofascial work, meaning movement of the fascia, and she got really deep in there in the area where I had this procedure done, something about that was able to free up the trauma. So I don't think we understand fully yet how these traumas get stuck in our tissue. You know, is it as a quantum particle? Is it as, you know, a wavelength? Is it become part of the tissue? I don't think we know. But I've seen this time and time again with body work. So myofascial, massage, things like dry needling, even when people have had to have things removed. So I'll see people who need to get a fibroid or an ovary or a testicle or a hernia or something removed, and they're better afterwards, not just because of the procedure, but is it possible that the body could almost send some of these sort of spiritual toxins or traumatic experiences into that organ? Like there's an innate intelligence in our body, and it knows, oh wow, you know, this breast lump is gonna get taken out. Let's just shove a bunch of stuff in there and let it go. And I personally believe that. I just think the gap between the science of proving it and what we feel has not been crossed yet. So when you think about how can you do a spiritual detox on yourself, I would strongly recommend a few things. One is, again, just becoming aware of your own energy field. Where are you getting drained? Does your Apple Watch distract you? So many of my patients wear them. Is it keeping you distracted or helping you feel empowered? Take it off if you're distracted or if you feel stressed around it. So little changes like that. Where are you getting out in nature and connecting? Where are you saying yes and no to the spiritual draining people or vampiric people versus the ones that give you light? And then how can you start doing things for your body, right? So could it be body work? Can you try myofascial release? What about deep tissue massage? Like I said, these things like dry needling. What can you do for your body? Is there a part of your body that bothers you? Like every time I get stressed, I'll get, a headache on one side. Well, maybe craniosacral, which is a type of energy work, would be a good idea. Maybe there's some past trauma that got stuck in your fascia or your tissue that is there. So that would be something where just being open and open to body work, but also something as simple as Epsom salt, which the salt is charged and we put it in our energy field, whether you just soak your feet if you don't have access to a tub or you're getting a good full body soak. The salt can help extract some of this trauma and frequencies out of your body. So there are some simple things that don't cost a lot that you could do right away. So in summary, make sure that you are open, first of all, to the fact that maybe you haven't fully been seeing things. We should always be open to growth, learning and growth. Two of my absolute favorite things that I personally cannot stop doing, even if I try. So being open to both of those, please. And then when you get the messages, instead of kind of panicking, just start making baby changes. What little things can you do? Where can you bring in a boundary? Then start taking some actionable steps like getting outside, getting in the early morning sun, maybe you journal, the Epsom salts, and then going on to maybe some deeper body work with healers that know how to deal with the energy field, whether that's myofascial, like the other things I mentioned, or even acupuncture or Jinshin, or Reiki or craniosacral, and you will find that maybe where your journey has been stuck, where your healing journey has been stuck, that this piece has been missing. You bring it in, you get some insights, and not only does your body start to heal better, but your life will flow. There'll be more intentionality, more manifestation, more flow and ease and joy and gratitude. So enjoy and get going on your spiritual detox right away, and let us know how we can help you on this journey.